from New York, the chairman of the full committee, to use as much time as he needs.
I wish that was the case. Thank you very much, Chairman. And thank you very much for all witnesses for being here. And to admit you're a Jets fan is very, I mean, it's a difficult thing to do every year. Watch them every year. It's very difficult. Yeah. Ms. Harding, I have a question with you. If the United States adopts a more forward-leaning cyber posture, including the use of private sector capabilities to disrupt or impose costs on foreign adversaries, what should the operational role of DHS and CISA be when retaliatory cyber activities targets the Homeland?
Right. So what we've heard from the private sector sort of through the evolution of CISA and DHS is that they see them as the good guys. When FBI shows up and asks a lot of questions, you know, they want to be helpful, but they're also there to look for criminal activity and to prosecute the criminals. That's a very specific skill set. When they talk to CISA and when they talk to DHS, what they're really feeling like they're getting is more of a partner. And I think that, you know, the JCDC had its upsides and its downsides, but it was in fact doing a lot of good trust building with the private sector. And it was a place to collaborate. I think that trying to adapt that, to adjust that, to moderate it for the future is really important. And then what we were talking about with the two-way information sharing is absolutely critical. I think that one of the criticisms that DHS frequently gets is that, you know, you have your one person who you get cleared at the secret level and they go in and they get a briefing and they're like, that's it? Like, that's all you're giving me? I could have read that in the New York Times. So we need to be more aggressive in sharing some intelligence information that we have, and that's hard for me to say as a former intelligence officer, but I do think it's important.
No, absolutely. That's one of the, you know, I've been between ranking member and chairman for the last 5 years on this committee. The one thing I have heard repeatedly from our partners, private sector and allies overseas is we are very good at taking information. It's a lot of one-way street. We're not good at sharing information.
Exactly. So.
Just a follow-up on that, does DHS and CISA currently have the authorities or network access or operational agility required to move in that direction, if that's where we go?
I'm sorry, you're asking if DHS has the capabilities to conduct offensive cyber activity?
Well, I mean, does CISA have the authorities necessary to do it, or do we have to give them more authorities? Do we have to give them more access to? Is there action that we need to do so the private sector can work with these partners in CISA?
Yes, I mean, I think that there's a sort of patchwork of authorities out there that you can cobble together to do some pretty impressive things. But I think looking at it from a zero-based standpoint and saying what we want to achieve here is really tight collaboration between the government and the private sector. And what we want to do is take the best athlete from each team to sort of continue the analysis. What can we do to make that happen and to really let the private sector shine in the things that they're very good at? I suspect my co-panelists might have some other thoughts about the specific authorities of DHS, though.
Sure. Jump in if you want.
If I may. One of the other things that I would add, right, is that we have to start thinking about cyber as a core element of multi-domain operations. So when HSI is conducting investigations, they should have the ability, the authority, the resources needed to be able to leverage cyber capabilities as part of their work. When Coast Guard is conducting missions, given their unique authorities, as my panelists have said, they should be able to leverage, they should have the capabilities and the tool sets needed to be able to leverage cyber, offensive cyber, as part of their core responsibilities.
And just to build on that, Mr. Chairman, I mean, Emily brought up JCDC. I think JCDC, again, pros, cons, but in the event of a crisis, they're actually quite good. Bombs start dropping in Ukraine. They can get critical infrastructure owner-operators together. They can start sharing information, but it's episodic. It's only when there's a big event. What is that daily battle rhythm? I mean, to go with the sports analogies, which I started, sorry, but at the end of the day, you got to put the reps in. You're not going to suddenly become a five-star recruit if you haven't been in the gym and on the field for years. So I think there needs to be something there that allows it to succeed not only in a bad day, but every day, so you're ready for that bad day. And I think, Mr. Jimenez, I am very much at the point where I think there are some authorities and some protections that are needed. Firstly, WMWEG, you got to get that over the goal line. That is essential. You can't trust the government's going to lose all confidence of the private sector if we can't even get the basics. Imagine kicking us back a decade. That's what we're looking at here. That's unacceptable, so thank you for your leadership there. But I think just as importantly, you do need to also look to what that combined operation could look like from a collaboration standpoint. Not industry on its own in conjunction with government.
Absolutely. I ran out of time. Ms. Beck, I would let you add on, and I'll yield back. But as for WMWIG and Pillar, those are two things that we're making a hard push, and I believe the minority is also making a hard push, as well as the Senate minority, to get included in our final package next, instead of just a blank extender or a short-term extender, to get actually the bills done in next week's final package. But we will see. And with that, Chairman, I yield back.